Look at the Volkswagen Beetle. It is round. It is cute. It is harmless. For decades, it was the symbol of the 60s. The love bug. The car of hippies, surfers, and peace activists. But history has a twisted sense of humor. Because this car, the most friendly machine ever built, was not born from peace. It was born from hate. It was commissioned by the darkest tyrant of the 20th century. It was designed by a genius who sold his soul to build it. And it was assembled not by workers, but by slaves in a factory built on stolen land. This is not the story of a car. This is the story of how a machine meant to conquer the world actually succeeded, but not in the way its creator intended. Welcome to the Graphic Ledger. 1933. Germany. The country is changing. A new chancellor has taken power, promising to restore pride and strength to a broken nation. In the shadows of this political storm stands a man named Ferdinand Porsche. He is 58 years old. He is a brilliant engineer, perhaps the greatest of his time. He wears thick glasses and a humble hat, looking more like a grandfather than an industrial titan. But Ferdinand has an obsession. For years, he has dreamed of building the perfect car. Not a toy for the rich, like the limousines of the time, but a car for everyone. A people's car. He pitched the idea to Mercedes. They laughed at him. He pitched it to others. They ignored him. His design bureau is running out of money. He is desperate for a patron. And then, the call comes. The new chancellor wants to see him. The meeting takes place in a hotel in Berlin. Adolf Hitler is not yet the monster the world would come to know. To Porsche, he is just a man with a checkbook and a vision. Hitler lays down his demands. They sound impossible. He wants a car that can hold 2 adults and 3 children. It must cruise at 100 kilometers per hour. It must handle the rough winter roads. And most importantly, it must cost less than 1,000 Reichsmarks. The price of a motorcycle. Any other engineer would have walked away. The math didn't work. But Porsche saw the chance of a lifetime. He nods. He agrees. Legend says the dictator sketched a rough drawing on a napkin. A curved, beetle-like shape. Porsche took it. And in that moment, the pact was signed. The engineer got his funding. The dictator got his propaganda tool. And the world moved one step closer to the edge. The design process begins. Porsche works his team to the bone. They build prototypes in the garage of his private villa. They test them until the engines explode. Then they build them again. The shape that emerges is unique. An air-cooled engine in the back. No radiator to freeze in the winter or boil over in the summer. A curved steel shell that looks like an insect. They call it the KDF wagon. Strength through joy. A terrible name for a brilliant machine. To build it, they need a factory. But not just a factory. A city. In 1938, in the middle of nowhere, the cornerstone is laid for what is now Wolfsburg. It is a massive spectacle. 70,000 people attend. The dictator speaks. He promises that every German family will own one of these cars. He creates a savings scheme. The Sparkarte. Workers put 5 marks a week into a savings book. When the book is full, they get a car. Over 300,000 families sign up. They pour their life savings into the dream. It was the perfect scam. Because not a single one of those families would ever receive a car. 1939. The world breaks. Germany invades Poland. The dream of the people's car dies instantly. The factory does not produce Beetles for families. It switches to war mode. Porsche redesigns his beloved car. He strips it down. He makes it square. He gives it aggressive tires. It becomes the Kubelwagen, the German Jeep. He even designs a swimming version, the Schwimmwagen. And later, he designs turrets for the Tiger tanks. Ferdinand Porsche, the man who just wanted to build a small family car, is now the primary engineer of the war machine. But the darkest chapter is yet to come. With German men at the front lines, the factory needs workers. They bring them in by the trainload. Russian prisoners of war, civilians from occupied territories, even inmates from concentration camps, slaves. They live in wooden barracks behind the factory. They are starved. They are beaten. They build the machines that are killing their own people. The love bug was forged in a place of absolute misery. By the end of the war, the factory is a target. Allied bombers smash it to pieces. The roof is gone. The machinery is flooded. 1945. Silence. The war is over. The regime has fallen. Ferdinand Porsche is arrested by the French. He is thrown into a dungeon in Dijon, accused of war crimes. He is an old man now, broken and disgraced. The Wolfsburg factory is a ruin in the British occupation zone. The British Army plans to dismantle it. They want to ship the tools to England as reparations. They look at the strange round little car found in the rubble. They bring it to the British car makers. "Do you want this?" they ask. The British experts laugh. "It is quite unattractive to the average buyer," they report. "It is too loud and too ugly. To build this car commercially would be a completely uneconomic enterprise." They rejected it. Ford rejected it. Everyone rejected it. The Beetle was an orphan. But one man saw something else. Major Ivan Hurst, a British officer in charge of the cleanup. He needed vehicles for his troops. And he had a factory full of unemployed Germans who needed food. He looked at the Beetle. He kicked the tires. And he made a decision. He ordered 20,000 cars. He painted them green for the army. He cleared the rubble. He restarted the assembly line. In the ashes of defeat, the Volkswagen factory groaned back to life. Slowly, the car began to shed its past. In the 1950s, it arrived in America. It was small, weird, and German, in a land of giant American chrome cruisers. The ad agencies in New York did something brilliant. They didn't hide the car's small size. They celebrated it. "Think small," the ad said. Lemon. It was honest. It was funny. It was the anti-status symbol. And then, the Cultural Revolution happened. The hippies of the 1960s didn't care about the car's origin. They saw it as a blank canvas. They painted flowers on it. They drove it to Woodstock. The car commissioned by a dictator became the ultimate symbol of freedom and peace. Ferdinand Porsche died in 1951. He lived just long enough to see his creation start to take over the world, but he never saw the full empire it became. His son, Ferry Porsche, would go on to take the family name and put it on a sports car, the Porsche 911. But the foundation of that wealth, the engine, the suspension, the DNA, it all came from the Beetle. Today, Volkswagen is one of the largest car manufacturers on the planet. Wolfsburg is a thriving city. The slave barracks are gone, replaced by modern glass offices. But if you look closely at the history books, the stain is explicitly there. So, what is the lesson written in the graphic ledger today? Greatness is often built on terrible foundations. Ferdinand Porsche was a genius, but he proved that genius without a moral compass is a dangerous weapon. He got his dream. He built his car. But the price was paid by thousands of people who never got to drive it. The next time you see a cute, vintage Beetle driving down the street, remember the shadow that travels underneath it. This is the graphic ledger. See you in the next entry.